Shalom, Gad Reis Chavra. So in the past, we've spoken about some of the deeper ideas regarding the Nisayon of Shmiras Einayim. We've talked about some practical strategies, but today I want to do something a little different, and I want to go into the experience itself and give a very different type of Eitzah. So for the sake of being practical, I'm going to replace the Nisayon of Shmiras Einayim with the Nisayon of eating chocolate cake. So let's say someone's on a diet, and it's late at night, everyone's asleep in the house, or let's say no one else is in the house, and this voice comes up in the back of your head that says, why don't you eat that chocolate cake? It's going to be delicious. You're going to love how it tastes. I know you want it. Give in to that urge. Eat that chocolate cake. Let's go do it. And then this other voice, this more rational voice, says, you know you're on a diet. Like, you know you're not supposed to do that. You know you commit to it. You know how you felt last time when you broke your diet and you looked in the mirror and you hated yourself. And it's just not worth it. Don't do it. And Chazal always talk about how whenever we give in to an Aveira, whenever we give in to the urge to do an Aveira, there's always this ruach shtos, which really means that we lose our rational ability to think clearly, to have, to be in touch with our higher selves, with our Yetzer Tov, and we give into that lower voice, our lower selves, the Yetzer Hara. We, do the things that we know we're not supposed to do. So eventually, what happens is that the voice that says, "Come on, you want it. It's going to be so good. Let's do it." That voice starts getting louder. And the other voice that says, you're going to hate yourself. It's not worth it. Don't do it. Remember what happened last time? Like, come on, this isn't you. Be your bad. Come on, wake up. That voice starts getting really low. It says, come on, wake up. Let's go. Come on, don't do it. And the other voice says, come on, let's go. It's going to be amazing. So how do we deal with this? Because eventually we only have one voice. It's that voice that says do it, and the other voice doesn't exist. So we've spoken about a lot of different strategies. You can look at the previous videos. We've spoken about laughter. We've spoken about avoiding the challenge in the first place. We've spoken about a lot of different things. We've spoken about, creating the identity where you just don't do that. But eventually we'll get to everyone gets to a point, we've all been there, where we're in the challenge and what are we supposed to do? So here's one way to approach it. The other one way to approach it is to really focus on strengthening that positive voice, that Yetzer Tov, our higher selves, and trying to attack or lower the strength of the other voice that's pulling us down. So the way to strengthen the voice that's telling us to be rational is we know what we're going to feel like afterwards. We've all been there where we look in the mirror and we can't stand what we see. It's like we're ashamed because it's not who we are. This is not what we're supposed to be doing. So one way to do it is to strengthen that reminder of what we're going to feel like. Whether it's creating triggers like written notes or messages or reminders that we can really hone in and tap into and really get that clarity of what we're going to feel like if we go down that path. Because instead of waking up afterwards and saying, I knew it, I told myself I was going to feel this way afterwards, really strengthen that so we don't actually do it. I mean, get to a point where you can strengthen the rational higher part of yourself that says, no, I'm not doing this. And create those reminders, create the experience of what you're going to feel like before you do it so you don't do it. And the other way is to knock down that voice that says it's going to be so good. Chazal talk about how the Yetzer Hara makes things seem like they're so much newer and better than they're really going to be. Chazal talk about how Melech Chadash, a new king, arose in Mitzrayim. It was the same king. And the Yetzer Hara appears like something new, but it's really the same thing. It says, the chocolate cake's going to be so good. It's going to be so delicious. It's really not as good as you think it's going to be. Because whenever you're doing something that's not right, it's not emes, it's not who you're supposed to be, it's not enjoyable. And as much as you think it's going to be amazing, it's not going to be amazing. And afterwards, you're going to realize that, number one, it wasn't amazing. And number two, I knew it wasn't going to be amazing. And number three, I can't believe I did it. This is exactly how I felt last time. So if you can strengthen both of those voices, you can really create something powerful. Because you're raising up the rational by saying that I'm going to feel horrible afterwards. And you're lowering the Yetzer Hara, which is saying it's not even going to be that great because it always seems like it's going to be great. It's not. And I think this is a very powerful strategy because it really helps us with tools to actually attack the negative Yetzer while we're in the struggle itself. Obviously, we should avoid the struggle. Have filters, that's 100%. But if you ever get to the point where you're in the struggle, this can be very useful. My bracha to us is that we should be matzliach in this area. We should continue growing and become the ultimate versions of ourselves.
Thank you for listening to the Guard Your Eyes Daily Chizuk broadcast. Pass them on to your friends and help spread Kedusha in the world.